Good morning. This is your headless piano teacher, and I'd like to ask you a question. How many piano chords are there totally? I've been asked that question many times during my piano teaching career by students and other people as well. People hear about major chords, minor chords, diminished chords, augmented chords, 7th chords, 11th chords, 9th chords, and so on, and they think, wow, there must be as many chords in the world as there are stars in the sky or sand at the seashore. But actually there's a finite number of chords. Obviously, if you're talking about chords that are head-banging chords, then there would be millions of combinations. But for practical purposes, I'd like to walk through just the chords that most people use, such as major, minor, diminished, augmented, diminished 7th, major 7th, major 6, minor 6, minor 7th, major 7th, half diminished 7th, 9th, which is like that. It takes kind of a two-step process. Flat 9th or sharp 9th, 11th, suspensions, suspended 7ths, a 13th, augmented 7ths, a 9th of the major 7th, and a 6-9 chord, or add 2, that's a major chord or a minor chord with a second in it, like there's C minor with a second. There's a flat 5th chord, there's a 7th of the flat 5th, there's a few others, but that'll do for now, just for estimating the total number of chords. So I enumerated, I think, about 25 different chords. And each chord, of course, can be inverted, turned upside down, by the number of notes in the chord. In other words, if it's a 3-note chord, such as a major triad like that, then it can be turned upside down 3 times. There's 3 inversions. In other words, root position, first inversion, and second inversion. If there's 4 notes in a chord, like C6, then it can be turned upside down 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 inversions. And then there's 5-note chords, of course, and 6-note chords, and so on. But let's say that the average number of notes in a chord are 4, and so 4 times the 25 chords that we outlined would be what? 4 times 25 is 100. Okay, so there's 100 chords between here and here, in other words, in one octave. But of course, you can build a chord in other places in C, can't you? We can build it on D flat, D, E flat, E, F, G flat, A flat, A, B flat, B, and C, right? So there's 12 different points that I can build a chord. So therefore, there's 12 different major chords, 12 different minor chords, and 12 different diminished chords. In other words, 12 times all those 25 chords that we outlined, and each one had 3 inversions or so, or 4 inversions. So we have that 100 chords times 12, or about 1,200 possible chords just between there and there in one octave. But of course, the keyboard's not limited to one octave, is it? There's 7 octaves on the keyboard. Like there's 1 octave, 2 octaves, and 3 octaves, and so on. Now some are too low, and some are too high, and they would never be used, but you know, all in all, they're possible. So if you want to list all the possible chords, then 1,200 times those 7 octaves would be about 8,400 possible chords. Now, in practical usage, I would say that probably we're limited to about 1,200 chords that are used, you know, by musicians in everyday songs and so on. So that's an approximation. Nobody knows for sure, but that's an approximation of about how many chords there are. If you like this stuff and you'd like to get a newsletter on the subject, then go over to playpiano.com and sign up for our free email newsletter. It comes out about every 3 days, and you'll find tips like this on various aspects of piano playing and music theory. So thanks for being with me, and again, that's playpiano.com. See you there. Bye-bye for now.